Hello, everyone, and welcome back to JaianMusic Notes, the anime music nerd out podcast. Today, I am joined with our very first guest, someone I am so glad accepted my invitation, someone I was hunting down because I know he's an audio nerd, a music lover, and a weeb in the working. We are joined by the very, very amazing Juan Gomez. How's it going,
hey,
bro?
Man. How are you doing? Thanks for that intro, dude. You make me sound like a fucking rock star there.
Dude, you are. Like, first of all, for putting up with me and for saying yes to being the first guest on this very experimental portion of this new podcast, JaianMusic Notes. So, for the unacquainted, this is just going to be a big nerd out about the Attack on Titan soundtrack. It's got epic OSTs, and over the next few episodes, Juan and I will be breaking it down and discussing the impact of this music on the show, the storytelling behind it, and just like a really in-depth analysis of everything. This is the type of podcast where we're going to be talking about how we view and appreciate the music, and not necessarily that intense of a theory thing, unless we go there. If we go there, we go there. But before we get into all that, and I talk more about Juan and everything, I want to thank the sponsor of JaianMusic Notes, Laser Audio Technologies. They're known for creating cutting-edge music plugins like Fram, a multi-spatializer that can craft intricate soundscapes, and Glow, a powerful granular engine for fragmented sound objects. If you use code JaianMusic, you get 25% off your purchase, and every single dollar from that code, guys, goes straight into the podcast, such as paying GoPro Kyo, the person who does all the artwork for this podcast. Go check him out. Link in the description for all of that. Now, Juan, let's talk about, for people who don't really know you, because you've been on Soundspace, you've been on Anime Podcasters, but we might have some new people here joining us.
I sure hope so.
Yeah, exactly. I hope so. This is what we want. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and then like what Attack on Titan and the music in Attack on Titan means to you.
Man, I mean, I don't really know where to start. So, yeah, I'm like you said, I'm super into music. I'm a big music nerd. I have been since I was little, honestly. I'd say in terms of like average like music listening audience, I'm definitely above average. In terms of like music nerds, I'd say I'm like average to maybe a bit below average, because man, I've talked to some like music nerds in my life that like they talk about stuff that I've never heard before, and like not as a to putting myself down kind of way, just as a like kind of give a gauge of where I consider myself on the music nerd spectrum. I definitely consider myself a music nerd, but I'm definitely a bit more normie than like a hardcore music nerd, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But yeah, I've been super into music since I was young. I mean, I've been an audio engineer for about how long now? 6 years, 7 years. I lost, like, I don't know. It's like
you lose a track of time after you get out of that studio. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, working at a studio is kind of like a time portal. You know what I mean? You go in a happy little youngster, you come out a jaded, bearded guy, and you don't remember how much time happened in between. You know what I mean?
What happened, man?
It's like, yo, dude, what happened, man? I used to eat salad and be fit. Now I smoke cigarettes. It's not true. I don't smoke cigarettes.
And push faders.
Yeah, I smoke cigarettes and push faders, and I sleep during the day and I work at night. No, thankfully I do not smoke cigarettes, but you know how it is.
Yeah. And the music in Attack on Titan to me is like, I always compared it to the music in Star Wars in terms of specifically how wall to wall, how multi-layered, and how epic it is. Like the battle music, like how intense it is. Like that's obviously going to be a very recurring theme as we talk about these different songs.
Yeah, well, dude, I mean, in terms of music, like I said, I'm definitely a music nerd. In terms of like visual media stuff, like movies, TV shows, anime, all that kind of stuff, like I wouldn't consider myself a nerd in that regard, like visual medium. I'm definitely like in the average there. But that being said, because I'm such a music nerd, for me, like music in film, music in TV shows, music in video games, like it really sets the mood for how good, I don't know if I would say how good it's going to be, but how good I'm going to find it. You know what I mean? Like for me, a bad movie
absolutely.
with good music can become a good movie if the music is good enough. So it's the same in terms of anime. For something like Attack on Titan, like you said, it has like the whole spectrum.
It has the whole spectrum, but like one of those like very recurring emotions in that spectrum for me is like the darkness of Attack on Titan. Like it's really a dark themed thing where everyone, characters are getting killed off every single season, and it's banned in China, all this stuff. Like when I was doing Anime Podcasters, bro, like every time we brought this thing up, it was like, oh, yo, that scene where that character dies, like that's just how it is. So I guess my first like place I want to move to with you is how do you feel like the music in the show complements the intense dark themes of the anime?
How can I put this? There's definitely scenes in Attack on Titan that would be a lot easier to digest, maybe, in terms of the darkness and in terms of how hard it is, if it weren't for the music in the background. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And like, I spent this whole week like listening to like a bunch of the Attack on Titan like soundtrack and
of course
all that. But even then, I don't remember like most of the songs' titles. Rather, I don't remember any of the titles, but it's just I'll listen to a song and I'm like, oh yeah, that's the song that was playing during that scene when, we can talk spoilers here, right? Like, I guess
we talk all spoilers we want.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'm like, that's the scene when like, when, what's his name? Fuck. Forgetting names now. I haven't see, I've been listening to the music the whole week. I haven't rewatched the anime in like 2 years.
You're good, bro. You're good.
So I'm like, but when, when Erwin dies, or when when they're choosing between like Armin or Erwin, that whole stuff, like who's gonna
absolutely
burrito, it just makes it so much more intense, so much more like, wow, this is, like it's such a heavy subject that's happening right now, so it's a lot harder to digest in those moments than if music was different.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And I think the first song I want to talk about here is one called Call of Silence. Emotions in songs are translated through how the melody comes across. The melody can be influenced by a key, by a specific section of notes. But this song to me is influenced by vibe only. The orchestration here, the instrumentation, like the very simple piano, strings, light vocal. This song to me like really felt like a reset in the anime. I can't even remember the exact scene it's played with, but it is one that is so powerful and made me feel emotions where it just talks about hope and calling for a new beginning. To me, Call of Silence is one of those songs that when I covered it, I just felt like, we can get through this. This is probably one of the most dark portions of the anime, but we can continue and make it through. Do you see what I mean when you listen to it?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So I actually looked it up because you mentioned it, because I wanted to remember. I might do that throughout the episode if that's cool. But I wanted to remember what scene the song is played in. Just kind of, because just by hearing it right now while you were saying that, like I'm getting goosebumps like listening to the song in the background. And so this actually played one of the main times. I don't know if it played other times, but one of the main times was when Emir, like original, like, well, I guess fake Emir, not original, but the first Emir we ever knew. What was her fake name? No, it was always her name. But Krista's friend, Historia's friend. So that Emir, she was telling the story about how, she got found by the cult, and how, like, when she came to Paradis as a mindless Titan, like as a pure Titan, she spent like, what was it, like 90 or 100 years there, like just roaming.
Yeah.
And then she ate Galliard and became the, was it the card Titan? No, it was the other one, the big head.
The big head one.
What's it called?
I forget, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
So she's telling the story, and we see her like in the paths, which at that point in season 1, season 2, we don't know what the paths are.
No, not yet.
We don't know anything about that. You know, we don't even know that she's not the original Ymir. We don't understand why these people worshipped her, right? Because we know that Ymir is not her real name. It's the name that the cult that found her gave her because they thought she was a reincarnation of OG Ymir, right? And that's why she got caught, and that's why she turned into a titan and everything. So just that whole, when she's telling the story and you hear this music in the background and you see all that, and she's like telling about how like you just feel so bad for her.
Right?
And if she was telling the story without this music in the background, you'd just be like,
whatever.
you know, it's kind of like, you know, your life sucks, man. Whatever. Everybody's life sucks in this show.
It doesn't
you know?
have the same impact at all, you know? I completely agree with you on that. Yeah, absolutely.
And so like you were talking about, like just the vibe, the piano, like piano, just very slowly in the front, and the like pedal note in the background, you know, like that very long droning synth bass note before the vocals start singing too. It's just like, wow, man. It's just like you're just listening to this and you just feel like almost like you're at peace, but also
sad.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely sad.
And I think that sadness is an emotion that we like see a lot throughout Attack on Titan, just because of how much, for lack of a better word, crap these characters are put through.
Yeah.
I mean, it gets so convoluted as we go through. But I feel like, I guess, what do you feel like are the main emotions that I need to go to this next song for here. I know I'm kind of like completely shifting the tone here, but it's like whatever comes to mind feels right to me right now. The opening, bro. Well, I will never forget the day where I get told, I'm literally in music industry arts at Algonquin College. I'm an MIA. I'm just a little weeb with a little dream to become an anime music YouTuber. And I get told, hey, go watch this show called Attack on Titan. And the first song I ever heard was the opening to season 1. The song is called Gurin no Yumiya. This opening, okay, let's play it a little bit right now. I'm going to play it a little bit in the background as I talk to you. Is just power.
Having the sex intensity with the bees in the
air. Exactly. It's memes. It's everything.
Dude.
But to me, like, it just felt like adventure is upon us.
So
like, I feel, yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish what you were saying.
No. That's kind of where I wanted to end it. Like, adventure is upon us. Like, we're about to go on a very big adventure with this one when you hear this song. Do you feel the same way?
Absolutely. And so, funny story for me personally with this song, it was my first experience with Attack on Titan. I guess it's not that funny now that I say it out loud, but essentially, like you said at the beginning, like I'm not really a weeb. Like I've probably watched like 3 different anime in my life, maybe 4. Attack on Titan being one of them. And when Attack on Titan was in its heyday, like around 2014 or 2017 when season 2 came out, or season 3, I don't remember exactly because like there's like 6 years in between each season. But my younger brother, who at that point was like 12, 11, something like that, he was like, man, this anime Attack on Titan is super cool. And I remember seeing pictures of it. I'm like, man, you have these like weird human-shaped giants that eat people. I'm like, what the hell? Like, it just looks like such a super weird show. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, this, and I was like, whatever, like 16, 17, like a rebellious teenager. And back then when I was in high school, like watching anime was not cool. You know what I mean? So it wasn't. It was like, I was already like, I was a huge Naruto fan my whole life. That's like the only anime before Attack on Titan that I just absolutely loved. But watching,
of course,
anime just like for me, it just seemed like such a weird world. You know what I mean? Like such an unknown, like whole Japanese medium was like super weird for me. So I was like, man, fuck this, whatever. Like I'm not gonna watch this weird show about weird giants eating people. But my brother's like, man, the title song is amazing because he knew I liked music. And he just goes on YouTube and he plays it for me. And the first thing I hear is that. You know, like it just goes.
Oh my God.
Balls to the wall immediately.
Those first few notes, bro. Let's like just talk about the first few notes. Like tone. Like you're just, what's going on? Why are you like doing this in my headphones right now? Where are we going with this? And we just know right away with those like choir vocals, like, which let's talk a little bit about the choir aspect of Attack on Titan. It's one of those few anime music soundtracks where I feel like where they use choir very well. The only other one where I feel like choir is used great is like Death Note original soundtrack. But to me, it's layered in this way where it feels like it's a main part of the wall to wall, but it's also background. It's so like dimensional to me. It's one of those things like, yeah, we have Dolby Atmos now. You could have music coming from you at all sides, but this one feels like in my face, but in the background as well. Do you see what I mean when you listen
absolutely.
to like
And I'm glad you went there, because that's one of the things that I wanted to touch on for sure as well, is how well that choirs are used in Attack on Titan and how they add to the vibe. And specifically, we're talking about this opening now, where once we talk about the second opening too, it just has this whole, it really fits the vibe of how they use it mostly in the beginning, and the vibe of the first season and a half, like the first 2 seasons that are completely inside parody, and we don't even know about the outside world yet. And then
we know nothing, bro. We know nothing.
We know nothing. We don't even know, like,
know nothing.
And then how they kind of stop using they stop using the choir so prominently in like season 3 and 4. Not even 3, because 3 is Sasageyo. But season 4, it just goes completely like metal, like just heavy music. Just
you're hitting all the points I want to talk about, Juan. You're hitting all the points I want to talk about. Can we go to Sasageyo?
Well, before I want to finish my point about choirs,
go ahead.
actually.
Finish your point, please.
But yeah, so just the way that like those voices, they go and hit, it almost sounds like you said, it's an epic adventure. Something amazing is going to happen. But what's funny about it is, contrary to the music in the show, it doesn't prepare you for what's going to happen after. You know, it's like, dude, epic adventure. We're going to slay these giant monsters. You know, like first episode, first 5 minutes, fucking colossal giant shows up, destroys the wall. We're like, oh my God, it's starting like right away. We don't have to wait even 30 seconds. Like, just everything. So the theme translates that immediately. First thing you hear is
absolutely,
and it just like makes your head explode, you know? And then you start watching the show and you're like, oh my God, there's so much more. There's so many more layers to go through. Like, geez, you know?
Absolutely. And one of those layers, fight. Fight.
Tatakai.
Fight. So, do one more time for the fanboys and the fangirls.
Tatakai.
I will be selling that sample on the Giant Music Patreon.
I require at least 15% royalty fee for that.
Use code Giant Music.
Amazing.
Okay. Shinzo wo Sasageyo. Let's talk about this track. Oh my gosh.
What a banger.
The tone. It's like Gurin Yumiya had a twin brother, but it was like, watch me do it better. I'll say it better. This one is like, let's go on an adventure plus ultra. The music in this one, what I love about it is the orchestra is playing everything at once. It's so multi-layered, like percussion, vocals, keys, strings, everything's thrown into this one, and you just feel like adventure is continuing, but even harder, even more intense, even faster. It feels faster than the first song to me. It's rhythmic, and then when we hit that chorus, oh my God, I love the music in this one so much, man. I don't even have words for it. You know exactly what I'm talking about, Juan, as I say this.
Yeah. People don't see me right now, but I'm jamming out to the song in my headphones.
Right?
You know what I mean? Dude, this song to me is by far the best opening song of Attack on Titan.
Right.
And like you said, it's the first song, sorry, I'm really bad with the Japanese word, Gurin no Yumiya. And it also has certain aspects of the second intro, which we haven't touched on yet. But what really makes it like the cherry on top for everything else is that it's the third intro from the third season, where the show just becomes incomprehensible. It's not incomprehensible.
Incomprehensible. Thank you for saying that. That is a word that people do not use enough to describe Attack on Titan. And fans are like, well, no, you just need to like pay more. No.
Honestly, I've watched Attack on Titan twice. Yeah, I've watched Attack on Titan twice, and I didn't fully understand it until my second watch through. Because as things are happening,
and I'm podcasting about it.
Yeah, fair enough. As things are happening in season 1, you're like looking back like, oh, I understand this now because this is going to happen later. I understand why this is happening, because there's so many things that you're just like, holy, even just the titles of the episode. The first ever episode is called To You 1,000 or 2,000 years in the future, something like that. And the last episode is From You 1,000 years in the past. I might have gotten those backwards, but you know what I mean?
It's okay, but I understand what you mean. I understand what you mean.
Like, there's so many callbacks to later that you're like, man, this, and especially considering the fact that the seasons had like 6 years in between them, you're just like watching, it's like, man, how am I supposed to remember all of this? You know what I mean? Like, you kind of have to watch it a second time. You kind of have to binge watch it to really get it. But what really, really gets me about Sasageyo, Shinzo wo Sasageyo, is how it just feels like a race. We're so close to the answer. We're so close to understanding what are the Titans? Where do they come from? Where do they go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? What's outside?
Which is not part of the original soundtrack. I just want to specify for metadata purposes. That song is not licensed as part of the JaianMusic covers that will be used to represent the Attack on Titan original soundtrack on this very episode. Thank you very much.
That's weird. Why did you put it on the Attack on Titan playlist then?
I will not tolerate any lies on this show.
But like we're just getting so close to the race, and just the whole like the rhythm, the whole
Yes.
It just feels like you're like on a horse, which half of the show is on horses, and just racing to the finish line. You're like, okay, we're almost there. I'm getting there. Like so close. And it's just like the whole season just feels like that. You know, you got the whole like liberating Shiganshina. You're like, where the hell did this big ass monkey titan come from? Why does he throw rocks like a baseball player?
And why is he so good at baseball? That's a thing.
You know?
Why is he so good at baseball?
Yeah.
I never got that. Like, he throws like a professional.
Well, we find out
Top 10 best baseball players in anime. Number 1.
I mean, we find out in season 4, you know, I mean, I haven't watched that many anime, so for me, he's number 1, you know what I mean?
Right?
Number 1
there
baseball player.
There are literal animes about baseball out there, and he's still better than all of those players.
You know, baseball is huge in Japan, eh? I don't know if you knew that.
No, I know. Oh my God. Quick sidebar.
They beat the United States this summer, dude.
Quick sidebar. When I was in Japan earlier this year, I don't know if I talked about, well, this is the first time I'm recording it. Anyways, listen, I went to Japan earlier this year, and we went to this one specific arcade. An arcade, bro, right? What do you play at arcades?
Video games?
Arcades. Well, in Japan, you also play baseball, apparently, because there was a baseball...
Like a whole ass field, or like a small...
Like a whole thing where like it's a hallway and there's lists of strings and you can throw and bat and the machine throws a baseball.
That's
like,
crazy.
The whole thing. Yeah, I know. I recorded sound effects for it. It's part of this other project I'm doing. But anyways, we're getting lost here a little bit. But yes.
But I mean, we do end up finding out why he's so good at baseball, though. It's because his like adoptive father, whatever, the guy who was the Beast Titan before him they used to play catch all the time. You know.
They did. Yeah, the flashbacks say so.
Yeah, exactly. So that's how we find out. But like when we first see him in season 3, it's like we just see this giant ass monkey, and he's just like throwing. I keep saying monkey. He's not actually a monkey, but it's like the closest comparison we have to what.
Yeah, it's pretty accurate if you ask me. But anyway,
he's got the long arms and all the hair,
right?
And he's just throwing these rocks and like just smacking the scouts on horses, man. Like the accuracy of his throws is just crazy, bro. So it's just like the whole season 3, you're just like, what are we going towards? Because this started as like the whole world was inside the walls and the Titans came out of nowhere and they're eating everybody.
Yeah.
And then it's progressing to, wait, there's people outside the walls, but how are they not eaten by Titans? And then it's progressing to, wait, there's people who turn into Titans. And then it's like, wait, the Colossal Titan was a person. And wait, there's a big monkey throwing rocks. And wait, what? And there's a key in the basement. And like... Dude, it's just such a race to finish. So that's why I find like this opening is just perfect for that, because you just like feel like you're galloping to the finish line on this.
It's epicness. It's epicness.
Everything is epic, man.
Okay, when we say epic, we gotta talk about this next song, bro. And it's another opening, and this one goes so hard, rumbles at 0 hertz all the way to 20,000 hertz. I'm talking about the rumbling. Let's hit that. Right away, when I heard this song, I was like, who is this band? Who is this singer? How is this orchestral metal genre bending, which is another aspect of the music in Attack on Titan, bending genres, you know?
The return of the
another
choir.
band that oh my God, like the choir, like everything. Like to me, it's very, and listen, I might trigger some people with this comparison. It's very Falling in Reverse-esque to me in the way that they like meld genres together. But the rumbling to me just felt like that Eren is going to be maximum villain in this one. It's all about Eren and who can stop him. You hear those screen vocals and you just go crazy. And then we hit that chorus, bro. We hit that high point with everything coming together, which is one of the things that the Attack on Titan soundtrack does so good. Like,
Choruses?
so dynamic. You know what I mean? Choruses and just like building and crescendos and decrescendos. That is one thing that I will always give Attack on Titan all of its flowers for. To me, it's like the complete opposite of punk rock, where punk rock feels super linear with like, you know, dynamically and just like intensity and just like.
Oh, now you're going to trigger some people, bro.
You know what? It happens. It happens. But I still feel like, you know, you can see the difference here. Oh, I love me the rumbling.
And you know,
what do you think about it?
You know the worst part about this song?
What?
How short it is.
Right?
Like as you were saying all that, the song just finished.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like I can't hear it. I have to restart it if I want to listen, which I might. Maybe I will, you know. Maybe I'll just press play right now. But
you have that power as a consumer of the internet.
I do have that power in 2024 with Spotify.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? It's just like, dude, I want so much more out of it. And it ends on such a high note, which is amazing. But yeah, it just like, dude, like the other intros we've talked about so far, the thing with the rumbling is just, it's just such a loud announcement of what's to come. It's like, you know what we're going to give you? Mm-hmm. Unfiltered violence. Millions of people dying in a genocide that this main character that you used to root for like not that long ago, well, he's the main reason for this.
Yes.
And like,
yes, exactly.
Now you have to hate him. But you know what? It doesn't matter because the song is amazing. And that's all we want.
The song is, it's top 2 for me in terms of like anime openings for Attack on Titan. And I just want to touch on that genre bending point. Blending, bending, whatever you want to, however you want to put it. To me.
Genre bending like the Avatar.
I'm going to ask. Yes, which will have to be a topic now that you've mentioned that show. Thank you so much, Juan Gomez. Dude.
Another show with great music.
I'm going to say something and I just want a yes or a no from you.
Okay.
The statement is, the music of Attack on Titan blends the following 3 genres perfectly. Orchestral, electronic, and rock.
Absolutely.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Like, those are the 3 to me. Like, the wall-to-wall orchestra, the intense rock guitars and drums, and that sound design, it's sort of electronic weird synthesis that happens in songs literally called Attack on Titan. The song Attack on Titan, bro. In Attack on Titan, and this is, I'm not faking this, Juan hops on Discord right before we hit record, and he's like, bro, you gotta throw this one in the playlist. I'm like, what's the name of the song? He's like, Attack on Titan. I'm like, I know, that's the name of the anime. What's the name of the song? Attack on Titan. And this is the song that, like, whenever Eren transforms, and whenever it's about to get real, whenever that teeth hits that thumb and he wants to become a Titan, that sort of like bending metallic sound design element that just rips across your ears, and you just know that it's gonna get real.
It's almost like 9 Inch Nails industrial kind of, you know, the
yes,
you know, like how it
yes,
it just sounds like a factory, you know what I mean? And it's just like, and the thing with this song too is like, if you listen to it by itself, it's amazing. Like you just, but one thing I will say about it is that the flow isn't quite perfect. I feel like if you listen to the song in the entirety, the first part is a bit too long, the last part is a bit too short. But the way once you listen to how they use it in the show, you understand. Because the first part, the like the industrial electronic, like you said, like that kind of EDM feel is very low behind, and you almost don't even hear it. It's always in parts where there's like, it's a really tense moment. You hear people talking, but like they're not shouting. They're like quiet, angry. They're talking between each other. Or Aaron's thinking inside his head, you know, like it's always those like really tense moments. You don't know what's going to happen. So you're paying attention to what they're saying. So it's something that's like so low. The way they mix it in the background is so low. You almost feel it instead of hearing it. You know what I mean?
So,
but then
here,
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. No, finish your thought, please. You were cooking so good on that.
But then after a while, Aaron finally transforms. We see this massive giant show up in the middle of the city, and you hear that lady scream, and the orchestral instruments in the background, and like the strings, the horns, like everything in the back. It's just like so
dude,
massive.
the horns
it blows
in this
up.
one.
So it goes from like being super quiet and behind the vocal, like behind the dialogue. I mean, and like almost imperceptible.
Yeah, part of the underscore. Yeah, absolutely.
To being like super in your face and like a main part of the scene. So that's what I love about this song.
So here's the thing. As someone who listens to music that is structured in a verse chorus type of way regularly, I agree when you say that the flow here is weird and doesn't really make sense. I understand. As someone who has attended and graduated from the electroacoustic program, where it's all about weird flow, weird sonic structures, this song makes perfect sense.
Okay, you're going to flex your university degree on me.
A little bit. But here's the bigger point I'm trying to make. This song is one of the only ones in the entire Attack on Titan original soundtrack that lives between sound design and music. You get me? It lives between that world where you're like, wait, is that like a sound that the Titan is making, or the transformation, or is that like actual musical notation?
I totally
and when you
see that.
score that to a scene such as Aaron transforming, which, bro, whenever Aaron transforms, it's going to be a good episode. This makes sense. But like, if you hit it alone, it's going to hit you with that nostalgia more than anything. Love the sound design elements here. The way you described it as like that, like low end synthesis that you hear. No, you don't hear it. You feel it. It rumbles. And it explodes into an orchestral, epic, grandiose explosion. And I love that. And that's like Attack on Titan to a T, bro. It's so just out there and incredible. And it's almost like a leitmotif, like the Eren theme almost to me, because that's like the Eren Attack on Titan transformation theme. You see what I mean?
Yeah, almost like the rising fighting spirit is the Naruto theme. You know, like when every time Naruto's like gonna do some crazy shit, like they play that song.
And I have to, when I talk about transformation themes, go to this next song, Juan. And we'll use this song and we'll end the episode, because Juan and I are gonna still talk after this on this note.
Yeah, because we like talking.
We like talking, but we got to talk about UC Big Girl. I want to play it a little bit with you here, and I want to know if you can remember what scene this is associated to. Like, let it cook in your ears a little bit. But this scene was one of those turning points in the anime where...
Oh, man. Is this from the scene where they're in the palace underground?
No, it's not. It's... Do you want me to tell you what it is?
Wait. Give me a second guess, and then if I don't get it...
I'll let you cook.
Is this from when Eren becomes the founding Titan?
It is when we're here. There's rain. There's thunder. We're on the wall. Bertolt is there.
Burrito.
Reiner is there. Eren is there. Mikasa is there.
Oh, and Reiner says...
Are we doing this? Are we really doing this right now?
Oh my God.
Are you sure this is the moment?
Oh man.
Are we really going to do this? Is this where we show the ace of all aces? The people who have slept in the same bed as you, who have eaten the same food as you. Are we about to turn our backs on the ones we love the most? This is the theme where Reiner and Bertolt transform for the very first time, and they tag team capture Ymir and Eren. And to put it into words, how much I love this song and how much it turned everything. This is that coin flipping moment in the anime where epicness meets reality, and you just know that it's never going to be the same again. And I was so close to you, and I trusted you so much, and I have so much hate for the Titans, and I shared that with you, and I entrusted that into you, and you sat there and you were a liar. And from now on, until I see you dead, I will do everything I can to make you pay. And that's the energy that Aaron feels here. And as you listen to this choir, those toms, those hits, and once again, the crescendos of the soundtrack, bro. Insane, powerful, uncomparable. I love this song so much, and it changes everything for the rest of the anime. What are your thoughts, Juan Gomez?
Oh, dude, man. So here's the thing. This is another one of those songs that you don't realize that it's there.
No.
In the way that you feel the tension. Let me explain. That scene, okay, is for me in the whole show. When I said incomprehensible earlier, that one scene is the one scene where I was like, wait, what? Did that just happen? Because it's such an afterthought. It's such a, like, dude, what was it? Like, I remember Aaron had a sling on his arm. I don't remember how he got hurt, but he went back on there was like a big fight before this. I think it was the Battle for Trost or something. I don't remember exactly what happened before that.
If I'm not mistaken, it was, oh no, I was going to make a mistake. Please go on.
What was it? No, it wasn't the Battle for Trost, because at that point we already knew Ymir was the Titan. So it was the when they were caught in the tower. Right?
Yes.
So before that, they were caught in the tower. Aaron got injured somehow. I don't remember exactly what happened. Anyways, like, Reiner helps Aaron up. He's like standing next to Burrito. And dude, it's just like Mikasa leaves. Everybody, I think Hanji was there. Anyways, everybody just kind of leaves, is walking. And then Reiner's like, oh, Aaron, I just got to tell you something. And like the dialogue is super quiet. We're not even focusing on them. And then like as like in the background, we just hear Reiner be like, yeah, so I'm the armored, he's the colossal. A few years ago, we launched an attack against the world. And I remember just being sitting there because like you're not expecting this at all. And just sitting there and being like,
not at all.
Wait, what? And I remember, so I said earlier, the first opening was my first experience with Attack on Titan, but I actually didn't even watch it until like 6 years later when me and you and Jacob were working at the studio. And I remember I was at the studio watching this at night one night, and I saw this happen. I'm like, whoa. And I went back and I remember I texted you guys. I'm like, wait, did this just happen? Did I mishear? Like, did it just happen? I'm like, there's no way that this just happened. And the funny part is, okay, earlier when we saw the armored Titan, especially when he went through the second wall, when he put the hole through in Trost and whatnot, I see his hair and I'm like, he kind of looks like Reiner. But I was like,
right?
I was like, that would be a little bit too on the nose because he looks a little bit too much like Reiner. And then we see the female Titan and I'm like, she kind of looks like Annie. And then I'm like, but it'd be a little bit too on the nose. And then we find out Annie is the female Titan. So it's like, okay, so I was right. But completely forgot about the Reiner armored Titan thing. And then this happens. This whole scene happens. Reiner tells Aaron, he just like spills the beans to me. And I'm like, whoa. It's just like, it was there the whole time. We knew it.
It was in your face.
It was in, like,
and the music reveals it, bro. You see what I mean?
Man.
With that theme. Build up. Reveal. Musical explosion. Battle.
And it's almost like the show is making fun of you for not noticing. You know what I mean? And the music's like, tuk, 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 tuk. It's like, it's just like, man, there's something coming. There's something coming. And you're just like, what's going on? And it's just like, haha, like this was under your nose the whole time. You never noticed. And you're just like, whoa. It's just, you just freak out completely. And I don't know. That scene was a complete mind fuck for me. And then like even crazier stuff happened later. But that one scene I remember to this day, like just stayed like in my memory forever.
Absolutely. I heard it in your voice when I like revealed it, what it was to you, and it just all clicked. And it's that type of thing that when you think about it, the whole thing plays out in your mind in a split of a second, and you know exactly the emotional charge of that scene and the song brings to the... Let me rephrase. It's the emotional charge that the song will bring to the scene. Because although emotional, strip away the soundtrack to that scene, it will not be the same. It will not be as impactful. It will not be as strong. So... for now, that'll be it. Juan and I will see you next week. We will continue. We have more soundtracks to discuss. We have more Attack on Titan epicnics to discuss. Pardon me. Subscribe to JaianMusic Notes in your favorite podcatcher. Follow me on social media at JaianMusic. Make sure you check out my website, JaianMusic.com. And go use code JaianMusic over at Laser Audio Technologies and go give GoPro Kyo a follow. Juan, where can people find you? Let them know. And keep recording after you're done plugging it as well. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we'll do that. People can find me on Instagram. I'm the Juan you need. My Instagram is private, but if you look like you do music, or if I know anyone that follows you, I'll follow back.
So, for myself and Juan Gomez, this has been another episode of JaianMusic Notes. Goodbye, everyone.